Welcome to a quiet corner of real life. This is not a movie. There are no dramatic plot twists, no swelling musics. There are no heroes or villains. Life here moves very slowly, one tile at a time. Nothing surprising, nothing particularly sad, nothing explosively happy, just mundane. And in that mundanity, there is a kind of honest beauty. Let's stay here for a while and look very close. Look closer.
On the homemade art, paper strips on the green champagne bottle. Even when days feel ordinary, we find small ways to create. This bottle once held champagne for celebrations. Now it wears a dress made of simple paper strips, cut by hand. Nothing fancy. Just a little homemade art to cheer the space and the soul. Life can be boring sometimes, but we decorate it anyway with whatever we have.
Take a look at these wires. Some will carry electricity, powering our daily routines. Electricity that we get freely from water, hydroelectric power. But this one, the other one, the smaller one, climbs upwards. It becomes something bigger, an antenna, reaching out, disappearing into the void. Not a void. It is image on the wall. So it disappears above, listening for the signals from the universe. Signal that comes from most ordinary corners of our homes. We are still trying to connect to something bigger than ourselves.
Here is George Washington Carver, a man who looked at the most mundane thing, a simple peanut, and saw possibility. From that humble groundnut, he created over 300 patented products. Dyes, glue, plastics, even milk. He took something ordinary and turned it into greatness, a quiet reminder that even the smallest Most overlooked things can hold extraordinary potential.
Next to him, a thermometer, so much more patient than a watch. While seconds and minutes race forward, but the temperature changes very slowly, almost reluctantly. Throughout the day, it varies by the degrees. So it teaches us the value of slow observation, because not everything moves fast like this watch.
And this world, it does nothing dramatic. It doesn't speak. It doesn't move. It doesn't entertain. It simply stands, holding up the roof, framing our lives, quietly fulfilling its purpose. Sometimes the most powerful things in life are the ones that simply are there.
A tube of margarine and water heater. A tube of margarine is there to make a plain bread taste a little bit sweeter, and water heater jug is ready to turn cold water warm. These are small everyday tools that make the ordinary just a bit more comfortable.
Here is a notebook waiting for thoughts, a wallet handmade from cowhide, turning something ordinary into something personal, and this simple phone with its old buttons still connecting us to the world, one button pressed at a time, no touch screen, no apps, just connection.
A ceiling. Boundaries that quietly define our space. Nothing special, yet everything we need.
Even filtration can be this simple. A piece of cloth hung with thread, patiently doing its quiet work.
These are simple technologies made by a simple mere man. Look at this, a homemade solution, a homemade solution for pressing castor oil. It is a screw that is turned by hand, slowly pressing the cross, forcing the oil to emerge. Drop by drop. And there is a container that will be collecting these oils drop by drop. This is a no fancy factory. It is just patience and simple mechanics. Drop by drop, value is extracted from the ordinary materials that we own. The drops collected makes this amount of oil, which is pure, almost green, because it's made by environmental conscious procedures. That's how we care for our earth in this mundanity.
Sahil R&D Productions and Marketing, a grand name written on plain paper for work done right here at home. We give our small efforts big names because even the mundane deserves dignity and a little ambition.
These sacks hold the charcoal briquettes made from ordinary charcoal dust, but pressed into something cleaner, something better. A small attempt to turn the everyday into something more useful for cooking and for living.
A door opens briefly, letting the outside world in. Then we return inside to wires, to dripping cloth. Into this more serious machine, an actual oil press. Not everything stays simple. Sometimes we bring in bigger tools to help extract even more from what we have. We see that Mundane can live side by side.
Here are the sacks full of castor beans, waiting quietly. The machine presses them. And golden oil begins to drip, drop by drop. Even the wires beside them carry the power that makes it all possible.
We step outside. Onto the veranda. A simple broom rests against the wall. On the floor lie small toys and dolls left behind in the middle of play. Tiny ants march across the ground carrying food, each one fighting for survival.
The camera follows one, then another. They appear. And they disappear. Because they are so tiny against the white wall, we fail to see them. But they are there. A child helps by pointing on one of them, and suddenly, there they appear. We see them. Sometimes you only notice what someone shows you. Now, a bigger insect crawls on the black wall. A child reaches out and disturbs it. To the insect, this child is a giant. So the insect runs, confused, trying to escape what it cannot understand. But to us, it is just a small thing moving on the wall.
The camera pans across the green bean plants.
Back to the green plants.
Flush and flowering. The tomato plant grows among them. A boy leaning on the fence, trying to climb over. Water drips slowly. A big tree stands quietly. A red ant presses across the ground, so small, yet so fast. The camera struggles to follow its quick movements.
Among the beans, weeds grow freely. A single aloe vera plant can be seen, but it stands alone. This one plant is for healing. Many bean plants because they are for food, each serving its own purpose. But also there is a castor oil, which in here it is a weed. So it's pulled out by the boy. The child is holding up its roots to the camera. To the plant it has lost its life, but to us it was just something that didn't belong. While useful for oil, but invading our food space is not what we can tolerate. Back to the veranda. These clean bottles once held castor oil. A turubai is on the ground, is spread on the ground, and it have some seeds. Pumpkin seeds, which are being dried. And there is a bucket to measure the seeds, which is simple and honest. A man sits separating the seeds from the plant's materials, making them clean, fit for food. It is a simple method that is precise. Here now we see some amaranth plants and a bumblebee which is quietly sucking nectar. It flies away quickly back into its own world. Disappeared. A lizard is resting on a fence and suddenly runs away, because to the lizard we are a danger, but to us it was just another small creature passing by. We don't even notice or even bother.
In a bowl, pomegranate seeds. Each tiny seed could grow into a whole tree. Yet to us, they are nothing. So small. A handful would not even satisfy hunger. A hand squeezes the seeds. Just a few drops of juice bleed out. So much potential. Reduced to almost nothing.
And now rain begins to fall. Water pours from the iron sheets. Those same tiny drops have gathered, and now they flow together in a clear, beautiful stream. This is life, mundane, exactly as it is life.